Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by KALLE SAUERLAND, although for the first time in person for quite some time. Looking well.
Dan, I can't remember the last interview we've done in person. So here we are, in the flesh. Johnson has cancelled Corona, so we can all meet again. It's good. Now we're back.
Brave Boris has vanquished Corona.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cancelled, isn't it? It's game over for Corona. We're all back doing our thing. No, it's nice to have a press event, joking aside, where I actually can see people. Fantastic.
And just tell us, I guess, the best place to start. How did the deal with Wasserman and BOXXER come together that will now see your UK stable on Sky Sports?
Well, I think it became pretty apparent that we've built up a nice stable. You know, today obviously we've got Josh Kelly joining the ranks, we've got Nathan Gorman joining the ranks, we've got Chris Eubank joining the ranks. So I think we're up to 15 or so UK athletes, and we started in March. So, you know, we've got all guns blazing, and yeah, we concluded a great deal with Sky and with BOXXER, which gives us access with our events on the Sky Sports platform. So there'll be, you know, several events, some with Junior, some with the other stable, fighter of stable of fighters. Can tell I'm getting used to this face-to-face interviewing again. So it's exciting times, you know, and we've, you know, the stable grows and grows in the UK, and you know, the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, good pun. I just want to address a couple of rumours. Yeah, well, it's good, you didn't slip through the net. Just want to address a couple of rumours about the deal with Sky, because there were people saying long before BOXXER came onto the scene that you guys, Wasserman, were looking into a direct deal with Sky Sports, either with yourselves or with yourselves and MTK Global. Any truth to any of those rumours?
I mean, I saw some rumours already with photoshops with us and Sky and things like that. That's boxing talk. I think if you look at it, Sky have gone off and done their research on what they wanted to do, on take some in-house, and they've obviously done an international deal with Top Rank, and you know, we're delighted to be working with Sky and with BOXXER with us doing that. That's cool, you know. I mean, they're a very young company, so that hopefully brings some fresh ideas to the sport. You know, we'll see where the ride takes us. You know. As a company, we're growing bigger and bigger, which we're expected to do, operating under the Wasserman banner. We weren't doing this deal to not take it to a next level, as we did predict at the time. And you know, at the moment, what we've agreed in the first step is fantastic, and that involves, as I said, several events into next year. And that's great, you know. And I think for the British boxing public at the moment, you've got such a big offering of boxing everywhere you look, you know, and that's surely good news for the sport. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I could say to that, really.
So was there ever any discussion of you guys working with Sky without BOXXER being involved? Could you have filled the BOXXER role that they're doing now?
I think that the BOXXER decision it's a different way than, let's say, signing with a Wasserman or a Matchroom or a Frank Moran or whatever. It's a very different sort of move. So I don't think we could have filled that, because it's a different area, something that we haven't done in the past, running the tournaments and things like that. So that you'd have to ask Sky that, not me. But no, I think I can see the plan, but I must say I'm still looking forward and excited to see the way it's rolled out and everything. So that's going to be an interesting few weeks and months, I think.
You kick off obviously with a big show at the beginning of October. How excited are you about that show specifically, and seeing Chris Eubank Jr. get a huge platform?
Well, I mean, we were on the same platform before the deal, but so for us that's great. For Chris, it's been a tough few months, and you know, this opponent, people said, oh, why is he fighting Sven Elber, why is he not fighting, you know, he was saying he's going to do this. Well done. Let's just rewind and have a look at what's happened around Chris Eubank in the last few months. So this is what we feel is the right step, you know, and it's a guy who's in the world rankings, a guy who's coming very much to win because he sees what's at stake. And for us, it's for Chris to So he has a hard fight in front of him, whoever the opponent is in the next fight. We know that, yeah, because the training camp's obviously going to have its complications, and so that's a step that we took, and I think that's going to make it an excitement in itself for the viewers, because he has a hard fight here, whoever it would be, and Sven Elbir, very strong record, world ranked, and he's coming to win. This guy is not turning up here to play chess, yeah, and go home with a paycheck. He's coming to win. He knows what's on the line if he wins. So that's that yourself, Dan. You've been around boxing long enough. This is the time when you want to beat Chris Eubank Jr. and you're Sven Elbir. This will be your moment. Yeah. So that's that. I think that the card that we put on October 2nd is fantastic. It's got some great boxer fights on there, of course, as well. But from our side, we're going to see new people out there. We're going to see some that, have been around now, like Linus Adofia, just been announced. Felix Cash, Linus Adofia after this for the British title. Fantastic fight, domestic fight. Linus, super exciting. You've got talents that we've just signed. For example, Matty Harris, heavyweight, pro debut. Watch him. You've got Harvey Horn boxing, and Razor Ali, our hidden secret. This guy is a story in itself. Get an interview with him. He's got the storyline is phenomenal, and we will, as we do with all our events. If you've been to them in the past, we try to make them a little bit different in terms of the hospitality, the way it's laid out, and a touch of class.
Actually, food at an event, which I don't remember seeing much in the UK before. Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to a UK bar. So I'm not going to say which promoter it was. Sorry, Eddie, I don't want to embarrass you.
Eddie.
But I remember going. It was a show in Liverpool we were doing together, and I've got this VIP pass, and I've gone up to the VIP bar. I said, "I'll have a pint, please, love," and I have got a can of warm Stella in my hand. I said, "That'll be a fiver, mate." I'm standing there. Yeah, £5. And I'm like, okay, right, welcome to UK VIP. That has changed a bit over time, but that's the certain things that we want to, I think boxing should be a night out. It should be a night out that you can take your missus to go with the lads, whatever it is, but that's what we want to achieve in boxing.
And you think Chris Eubank Jr. still being aligned with Sky will help his chances in getting those big fights after Elbir, or assuming all goes well? Because he's been chasing the likes of Charlo, Canelo for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, Charlo's one that not everyone mentions to me, but Charlo's a great fight. I mean, Sky and boxing are synonymous over the last decades for putting on big boxing fights. And that hasn't changed. And that's something that for Chris to be aligned with that is fantastic. I mean, on the launch day it was apparent that he's the let's say the poster boy at the moment, and that of course makes discussions around those big fights much easier. So it's great. It's a great move. I think it's a great move for Chris. It's a great move for Sky. So I think that's all positive news.
And is it a natural fight to make if Billy Joe Saunders returns between him and Eubank, the rematch? There's been obviously back and forth on social media.
Listen, they go back and forth on social media, and I'm sure they both have their demands to make that fight, but it's such a natural fight. I mean, it happened. They were both young in the tooth. The one won the first 6, the other one won the second 6. It's one of those fights we'd all want to see.
Not according to the judges.
According to the judges, but no, I'm being tongue-in-cheek there, of course. But it was one of those fights we all knew at the time you'd want to see again. I think that fight, the first one, was made a bit too early for both guys because they both didn't really propel from that fight as much. It took time, didn't it? And normally, both of them should come out of that as absolute superstars, but it took a bit of time after that. Especially even for Billy as the winner of that night. And that's forget all that. It's just a great fight to make. I mean, we know the build-up on that. I think Liam Williams on the domestic is a fantastic fight to make. Forget the build-up, which would be craziness, but the but the styles. The styles, Williams doesn't hide, yeah, and orders Chris. So you're going to get, you're going to get an old.
It's interesting you mentioned Liam Williams because he's been talking on social media the last couple of days about having a big fight announcement coming in the next few days.
And he's been talking about Eubank for about a couple of years now. So there's, but that's for me a fight that I'd love to make. Moving on, the Golovkins, of course. He's got a fight with Murad, so we don't know if that's taking place or not. I think they've got real issues in Japan with the COVID situation. But you just mentioned some before. Andrade, love to see that fight. Love to see an Andrade fight. Charlo, yeah. There's so many names of that weight. But like I said, I'm a big fan of domestic fights as well. I just think they get the juices flowing. So that's something we'll of course be looking at and discussing that with our partners, what makes sense also commercially.